The big federal budget, waging war against ISIS and Insure Tennessee. A 9th District Congressman Steve Cohen joins us in studio with more to talk these topics and possibly more. Congressman Cohen, thanks for joining us.
Nice to be with you.
Good to see you this morning. Let's start with that budget, the nearly $4 trillion budget. There's been a lot of talk and debate about that. Is there any chance of it passing?
Well, not as it is, but there's a chance it'll pass with some of the president's recommendations on tax reform and on infrastructure spending. That's places where Republicans and Democrats can agree, and it's going to be finding the determination of how we find the funds. The president wants to put some taxes on some tax loopholes and some of the wealthiest people, people earning over $500,000 a year and people who are inheriting money in the millions of dollars, while the Republicans really don't want to add any new taxes at all. They want everything to be either neutral or benefits that just don't hit the highest income people. Yeah. So that's going to be a fight.
It's a Republican-controlled Congress. I don't see any way from what I'm reading that those taxes are going to pass.
It'll be difficult, but, you know, we don't know that the Republicans will keep the Senate in 2 years. Mm-hmm. And if they don't, Mitch McConnell knows that's a possibility. This could be the only 2 years that Mitch McConnell is the majority leader. He wants his 2 years as majority leader, which is going to be the apex of his career, to be successful. To be successful is not just to keep taxes down off the wealthiest or no new taxes. It's to get something done. And to get something done, whether it's infrastructure spending or some other areas, he's going to have to find some money.
Hey, let's talk about ISIS right now. Jordan is bombing Islamic targets this morning, today. What is America going to do? We understand the president says he is ready to ask Congress to authorize military force. What does that entail, and is it too little too late?
Well, I don't think it's anywhere near too little too late. This is a long-term problem. We're going to be fighting ISIS for a while. They are a group of radicals in the Middle East who'd like to have a caliphate, a country formed of part of Iraq and part of Syria, and they would like to require people to adhere to their ways. What they did to our captives, British captives, Japanese captives, and then to the Jordanian pilot are barbaric. The world will, I think the free world, good thinking people will unite to fight them. Jordan is doing it now. Japan's going to get in some type of effort. The authorization for the use of force will be widely debated in Congress. It should come for debate, and Congress should authorize that use of force, and I will be voting for him to have that use of force to fight ISIS.
Do you think we should have boots on the ground?
That's going to be a very difficult issue to grapple with, and there'll be a lot of folks on my side of the aisle that'll be against it, because we've been in the Middle East with wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. We've lost a lot of people's lives. That's a major thing to consider. It might be necessary, and the president might ask for it. I have to wait and see what he asks for and how he explains it.
One thing that happened this week right here in Tennessee, Insure Tennessee did not even make it out of committee in the state Senate. 150,000 people in Shelby County alone need health insurance. This would have given them health insurance. What do you feel about this?
I think it's the worst decision I've ever seen, possibly, in state government. I watched part of the Senate in action. I watched them earlier with a prayer by a lady named June Griffin. I was embarrassed by the way the state Senate looked and what they did, and felt like that in the time that I was there, the 24 years when I served, and there were times that I had difficulties grasping some of the things that were coming up and some of the people's attitudes that looked like a city on the hill compared to what was going on now. The Tennessee Senate is aberrant from Memphis. It's aberrant from mainstream America. What they did was wrong. It was sad, and it was sick. It's going to compel some people to death, many people to illnesses. It's going to take $1 billion from the federal government that would have been ours next year and the following year and leave it in Washington. That could have helped our economies, helped our rural hospitals, helped our local hospitals. And these people are still going to get health care, but they're going to find it after they're sicker than they otherwise normally would be, because they won't have primary care physicians, and they'll get that health care sometimes at the med, the most expensive health care, going to the emergency room. That's going to cost the property taxpayers in Shelby County money. Every single Shelby County taxpayer will pay more money. Every single person in Shelby County who has insurance will pay more, because those uninsured will be thrown onto them. The Tennessee legislators need to be talked to when they come home this week and told what they did was wrong. And in Memphis, Brian Kelsey was the main person, a ringleader. Anybody in his church needs to talk to him, and his minister needs to talk to him. It was wrong, and that's what the governor said. He said, how can he be the good Samaritan and see somebody on the side of the road and do nothing?
Right, right. It does seem like a travesty. A lot of people have contacted us and are upset about this. They desperately need insurance. Congressman Cohen, thank you for joining us.
Good to be home. Go Tigers and Grizzlies.
Go Tigers and Grizzlies. We'll be back with that.